Terence Bud Crawford destroys Errol Spence in 9 rounds. I mean, this was men against boys. Now, in my earlier video, I predicted a Bud Crawford win and a late stoppage. We got that, but it didn't play out as I thought. Right from the entrances, fantastic. Eminem walking Terence Crawford out singing. Some other rapper for Errol Spence. They met in the ring, first round. Errol Spence, the busier man. Terence Crawford was just taking a look at him, letting him throw a few punches, getting the measure of him, as we know Terence Crawford does in fights. But you give round 1 to Errol Spence for being the busier, didn't land anything clean. In fact, all the way through this fight, Terence Crawford's defence was absolutely spot on. Masterful display of defending. Second round, Terence Crawford starts hitting him with a jab. Just to point out, both are fighting from a southpaw stance. We talked a lot about Terence Crawford's ability to switch hit. Well, Terence Crawford boxed his entire fight from southpaw. And it seemed to me Spence was having a few problems with that. Now, Terence Crawford started landing the jab now. Nice and precise jabs. Spence throwing shots, but he's holding his feet and just getting caught. And it's obviously something that Crawford and his team had recognised and worked on, that he's slow getting out of range after he throws. And he was catching him clean in the counters, Crawford. Now, I forget what punch it was he landed, but he landed a nice shot on Spence. I think it's a right hand. I think it was there's like a left jab which hit Spence's shoulder. Spence didn't get out of range quick enough, and bam, right hand straight down the pipe, and he's gone down. Big shot, dropped him, gets back up. He seems okay, but his face is starting to be busted up already. Round 3, now Crawford's got his measure. Nice precise shots, but Spence, really, give him credit, comes at him, feels that he obviously has to get something back from the 3rd round, and that might be the only other round you could give him. I don't think he landed anything clean on Crawford. He landed maybe a big right hand at the beginning of the round. Didn't really land much, but he was brave. He was trying to put his weight on him. He was going forward. He was throwing shots. And then we're going to round 4, and Crawford now is just teeing off. Spence is throwing sort of wild shots, really. He's just trying to make something happen. And Crawford's got his measure completely. Piercing right jabs. Stinging left hands. You know, Spence coming forward and getting caught in the pocket as well. Little uppercuts, little body shots. Just fantastic work by Crawford in 4, 5, and 6. Similar type rounds. Dominating the fight. Spence's face is bust up at this point, real bust up bad. In fact, I think the doctor came in, I think it was round 6, possibly, or 7, to look at him. I think he might have broken his nose. He's bloodied up, bloodied and battered. Round 7, he gets caught with a big shot. Spence, again, he goes down. And then near the end of the round, a dominant round for Crawford. And you can see that Spence is now, he's really trying hard. You know, he's got a warrior mentality, but he's getting teed off on. And he gets caught with a little, I think it's a little hook, which sort of stunned him a little bit near the end of the round. Then a big hook, which put him down, and he sort of flew across the ring. Round 8. More of the same. Spence trying to be brave. You're thinking they're going to have to pull him out here. And then in round 9, Crawford goes to work, teeing off big shots, and the ref steps in. The ref did what the corner probably should have done. Although, in a fight this magnitude and with 2 top caliber fighters, you want to give them all the chance they can have. But it was a good stoppage. You know what, guys? This was sort of shocking to me. Even though I predicted Crawford to win by late stoppage, I think I said rounds 10 to 12, and it was round 9, so not too far off. I did think it may be a body shot. He did catch him with some real good body shots, hurt him at the end with body shots. But it was a referee stepped in stoppage, TKO. But I mean, this just showed the levels. You can say maybe Spence had an off night, but for me, it's not an off night. You know, he's always had this, you know, what you can be a top level fighter, Spence, but he's got that fault where he holds his feet too much after he's thrown a punch, doesn't get out of range, doesn't get his defense tight. And Terence Crawford's defense was razor tight all the way through this fight, even when he had him sort of on the ropes. Whereas Spence wasn't, it was quite loose and his feet were slower. So, you know, once Crawford had that first round just to see how he throws his punch, his timing, and everything else, that's all he really needed. And he knew then that he just had to draw the offense from Spence, and then he could tee off with the counter. And he's caught him numerous times with left hands over the top, piercing right jabs. Like I say, he boxed him the south poor stance all the way through. But yeah, it's literally just finished, so I just thought I'd upload this quickly. I might do a more in-depth one later on. I'm going to continue watching it now. All right, guys, take care.